Jimmy Neutron, right?
Yeah.
Boy genius or menace? He has a nuclear powered K9. Like, how is that okay?
I do generally believe that Jimmy Neutron has good intentions. Hello?
Hi there.
Hey, what's up? What's your name?
I'm Jack.
Jack. What's up? How's life?
I'm living. Is this the Geck?
This is a man in a gecko suit who is here right now talking to people on the phone.
Crazy.
I was watching an Instagram reel of and it was Jim Carrey, and he was at like some award show, and he was like talking to some lady with a microphone, and he was like, nothing is real, man, and I'm just a guy, and I'm crazy. And I was watching this, and I'm like, I really hope I don't sound like that sometimes. Although I understood everything he was saying when he was talking about the sensation. Like Jim Carrey, I think when he's going insane, he's left the Matrix. And I get what he's saying, because I've also had times where my brain left the Matrix. But you know what is the full circle is like the Matrix is pretty good. I'm sorry I'm talking over you. I'm just stream of consciousness going insane. But we'll get into just the Matrix is good. It's good to be in the Matrix. The Matrix is great. Go ahead.
It's kind of funny because Sonic the Hedgehog like brought him out of the Matrix.
Wait, how did Sonic the Hedgehog? No, wait, hold on. Tell me further. How do you believe Sonic the Hedgehog brought him out of the Matrix?
Whenever he was like really like he was saying like all the depressive stuff, it was like right before he started doing the first Sonic movie, and he was literally like, "I'm done with movies. Like the next movie that gets delivered to me would have to be like a script written in gold." And then he started doing Sonic the Hedgehog, and he's only done Sonic the Hedgehog since then.
So wait, so how is Sonic the Hedgehog? Wouldn't doing Sonic the Hedgehog put him back into the Matrix?
Well, it kind of like snapped him out of it, because he was saying like nothing matters, and then I guess what you're saying, yeah, he kind of pulled him back in.
No, well, like saying nothing matters. Okay, here, hold on, by the way, this is a two-sided conversation. I want to hear your opinion on this. I'm just gonna throw it out there. So when Jim Carrey is talking about how nothing matters and none of this is real and whatever, he has left the Matrix, right? And then going to doing Sonic the Hedgehog is rejoining the Matrix. But I think because when you're doing Sonic the Hedgehog, when he's doing Sonic the Hedgehog, he is like, when he's Dr. Eggman and he's doing a silly voice and he's like working and he's doing stuff and he's like attempting to actively participate in life, he has rejoined the Matrix. But I think the hero's journey of leaving the Matrix ends with realizing that being in the Matrix is good. It's a weird bell curve of like yeah, you know that meme? Do you know what I'm talking about? The meme where it's like a dumb guy and he's like what's that fucking meme? Hold on, I'm gonna look. Do you know what I'm talking about, by the way?
I do not.
Hold on. Bell curve meme. Thanks for hanging out with me while I do this. The bell curve meme, and it's like a Wojak meme. Do you know what Wojak is?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a Wojak meme, and it's like okay, at the beginning of the bell curve is like a really dumb, like idiot Wojak, right?
I'm looking at it in the middle.
You're looking at it, right? You're looking at it right now.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm looking at one right now, where it's like I just do whatever I feel like, and that's the dumb guy. He's like in the bottom 1%, right? And it's like that's living in the Matrix, right? That's like I do the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and I play pickleball and I paint. It's like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Doesn't he and then, okay, right? Okay, so at the bottom of the bell curve is dumb Wojak guy, right? And this guy's like, I do the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and I paint, and I play pickleball, and I go to award shows, and it's like, that guy's in the Matrix. He's an idiot. And then, okay, and then at the top of the bell curve, you see, right? You're looking at the same thing I'm looking at?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the top of the bell curve, you have the crying Wojak, the guy who's like stressed, right? That's at the top of the bell curve, and that guy's going like, guy at the bottom is a fucking idiot. All right, doesn't he realize that nothing matters, and he's an idiot. He's doing the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and he's fucking playing pickleball, and nothing matters, right? And like, that guy left the Matrix, right? And then at the end of the bell curve, the top, like the high IQ, at the end of the bell curve, you see the guy in the hood. You see that?
Yeah.
That guy, that's Jim Carrey going back to do Sonic the Hedgehog, enlightened, realizing that the end of the hero's journey of leaving the Matrix is fucking, the enlightenment is, oh, I'm going to do the Sonic the Hedgehog movie and play pickleball and participate in life and society. That's like the ultimate.
Yeah.
And like, that's his fucking hero's journey is you start dumb, you're like, oh, I'm in the fucking Matrix, and then you have an existential crisis, and you go, what a fucking idiot, participating in life. And then at the end, the hero's journey is, wait a minute, the golden script, the whatever, it is just fucking doing the fucking Sonic the Hedgehog movie and participating in life. That is the end of the enlightenment path, you know. So that's what I think
because
he's
I'll
on
show
with.
you, and he plays Eggman twice.
Yeah, that's the I'll show you. So that's what I think he's doing. Is that's he's at the bottom of, he's at the end of that bell curve where he's so enlightened that he's doing the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I guess, I don't know. That's kind of how I look at it.
No, I'm right there with you. It's even better because, you know, he brought Idris Elba in. He got Keanu.
Mm-hmm.
He's spreading the information. He's spreading the happiness.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, look, you know, it doesn't have to be this thing written in gold. It's amazing and beautiful. It's the fucking Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Sonic the
People
Hedgehog.
It's fun. It's just fun. Life can just be fun and normal, and, you know, it doesn't have to be this fucking script written in gold, you know.
I completely agree.
That's the bell curve. What's your name again?
I'm Jack.
Jack. What's going on in your life, Jack? Thank you so much for letting me. I got really excited talking about that. So thanks for.
No, I was the right guy to talk to about that.
You were absolutely the right guy to have on the other end of the phone to entertain me while I go on this rant. So thank you for being that. What's up with you, man?
You know, life's definitely a lot right now, but I think talking about Sonic the Hedgehog with the therapy Gecko helped quite a bit.
Right, that's what it is. It's like, it's just distracting yourself, which is like a weird nihilistic thing. But then again, you get to the end of the bell curve and you're like, no, that's the point.
Well, it's kind of like I kind of have an Exodia right now. I don't know if you're familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh.
What does that mean?
Like in Yu-Gi-Oh, there's this card called Exodia, and it's like split up into so many pieces because if you use them all, you just win the game. And I was sitting here and I'm folding my laundry, and I was a little bummed out because I'm like, I couldn't go to Comic-Con this year, and like all my buddies are at Comic-Con right now.
Mm.
And now I'm going to be able to just be like, yeah, you went to Comic-Con, but I talked to the therapy Gecko while I was folding laundry in my Snorlax Crocs.
I want you to know I'm deeply honored that I'm a consolation prize for going to Comic-Con. Wait, which is it? Are you talking about San Diego Comic-Con?
No, I'm in Missouri, so I'm in like Kansas City Comic-Con.
Okay, how come you can go again? I'm sorry if you said that already.
Just finances and didn't work out. Sure. I just lost my job and got dumped. Or no, well, we broke up. I didn't get dumped, but so I'm just staying optimistic and finding a new job and folding laundry and talking about Sonic the Hedgehog.
What does that mean to be staying optimistic?
Like, I don't know. I get out of bed every day. I go to work. I DoorDash and I do Roadie, which is another delivery app. I see my friends. I get out.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what is mystic? So I know that staying off the mystic is a metaphor, but what's the literal mystic? Like, you mean like the drink?
Sorry, one more time.
You said staying off the mystic? What is the mystic?
Oh, staying optimistic.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I thought you said you've been staying off the mystic.
That sounds cooler.
It does. Can we just? I want to just make that a thing.
Drug that'd be in like Judge Dredd.
Yeah. I kind of want to take that. Can we make that a thing?
I'm right there with you.
Staying off the mystic. Like, we don't need to get into crazy shit. We can just live life.
It's like Galaxy Gas, which I've never done. But
what happened? You can talk about it or not talk about it if you want. But what happened with the missus?
I don't know. It's a long, complicated thing.
Sure.
We were both just kind of getting to a point where we both weren't happy and just like arguing off and on and like breaking up off and on. And it was like we're almost at 3 years, and like I don't want to say too much because I don't think she'll listen, but I don't want to like oust anything.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. I understand that.
But it was just 3 years, just didn't work out, and we were just both unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I don't want to be there, but just like have to move on kind of thing.
Are you? I understand it's like it is like a difficult transition, but like, do you feel happier? Like, how do you feel in your gut? I'm curious.
I feel like I'm so focused on trying to like work on stuff on my life.
Yeah.
Then I'm honestly not thinking about it too much.
Yeah.
Like my mom asked me that the other day. She was like, "You haven't talked to like it's been like a month and you haven't like talked about like so and so." And she's like, "Are you like okay with it?" And then I was like, "I'm going to tell you the same thing I told my therapist of I know this is just going to suck for a while and I'm just going to have to live through the suck and then we'll go from there."
Yeah, there's kind of a beauty in that acceptance. There's a beauty in that There's a weird thing, and this is like philosophy bullshit that I don't know if I fully agree. But let's explore the idea because it's interesting. Is like, are you still there, by the way?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I was wondering if the phone cut out, whatever. But it's an interesting idea to explore. Is like, okay, you accept this is gonna suck. I will get through it, and I will move past it and be victorious and whatnot. Versus like resistance of feeling the pain and the suck and like, how do I fucking make this fucking end right now? This like whatever pain or whatever the fuck. And it's interesting because resistance can often, like, I think, lead you to interesting places, perhaps. Like, I think, well, I don't know. Like, there's a weird thing in like, but also acceptance can still lead you places actionably, right? Because you accept the pain. Because you can be like I have a friend who's like, he went through a thing with his lady, and he went like, I'm gonna become like I don't know if it's. He went like, I'm going to become the kind of person that I thought this relationship would make me become. And I'm like mourning the possibility of the guy that I thought I would become as a result of this relationship. And so I'm going to go do the things that I thought this person would encourage me to do. I'm going to do them alone. And it's interesting because I guess as I'm talking to you, I initially was thinking about this person, and I was like, is that a resistance to pain? Or is that actually, in a way, an acceptance of pain? And a kind of like, let me take an actionable step to transform this pain into something productive, which actually is a form of acceptance, I think, rather than a form of resistance. I guess resistance would be like, no, this is gonna work out. This is gonna come back. This is gonna keep going.
Well, I've kind of done that. I think that's kind of why I'm at a point of like, because like we both agreed that we needed to do it, but I kind of like initiated it, and we both kind of like agreed that we're like I don't like it got to a point where I didn't feel like I could like talk to my friends about it because it's like we've had so many like micro breakups.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. Once you get to the point where you're like you've talked to your friends, you've gone to your friends about an issue you're having, and you can't go back anymore because they're all going to be like, you've done this dance 8,000 times and you just can't talk to us about it anymore.
Yeah, and like my therapist even said that like my friends are like, don't get me wrong, I've talked to my friends about like I got drunk and played video games. We played Through the Fire and the Flames on Fortnite.
That's so
at my
awesome.
buddy's house, and you know we did that, and you know that was nice. But I feel like I'm definitely kind of just like don't get me wrong, it sucks, but like I'm just trying to like I got a lot I want to work on, and like that was kind of one of the things we dealt with is like it didn't come across that I changed the ways I needed to, and like I knew I needed to change in some different ways. But like I also was like working at Jimmy John's before, like I was like working at Jimmy John's and door dashing full time and just like miserable the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we first met, and like I feel like I'm at a much better place even with the stuff going on now than I was back then. So I'm just trying to, I don't know, I got to keep telling myself that I changed in ways that were good for both of us and ways that were good for me too. And just kind of trying to keep moving forward and changing in better ways.
That's wonderful that you have great friends that you can just get drunk and play Fortnite with.
It is actually really funny because like my two friends that I just got to play it literally said they would never play it. Like they said they'd rather die than play it for like years. And then one night I just randomly messaged them saying be playing Fortnite tonight, and it kind of like stun locked them into playing it. And now one of them plays more than me.
How do you know these two guys?
I met them in high school, and I used to be roommates with one of them, but he had kids, so he moved out.
Nice. Are these the buddies that are at Comic-Con right now?
Actually, one of them is, yeah. I actually just sent a message in the Discord saying I'm on therapy Gecko right now.
Oh, cool.
And they said prove it, and I said watch the stream. And so I hope one of them got to hear me talk about his Fortnite addiction.
Cool. What's your name again?
Jack.
You say, you know what? I keep coming. This is like, I know. I feel like on this show I say the same things over and over again, but maybe that's because I just keep coming back to, you know, a lot of the same conclusions, and this is just I appreciate you so much just sitting on the phone with me while I rant about musings. It's like I just keep coming back to by the way, I hope this doesn't come off in like a preachy way, because this is a lot of this is just me. This is like doing therapy for myself and me coming to my own loop of realizations over and over again. It's like perspective keeps being the fucking thing. Like perspective just keeps being the difference between like people who I talk to on this show or just in real life, where I'm like, that person's gonna be fine versus that person is fucked. You know, it's more about that than it is about like anything, I think. And I redirect that back to myself. I redirect that back to myself, because I wonder with myself, I'm like, am I fucked? Am I just fucked for like, am I fucked, or am I gonna be fine? And it's like, well, it kind of depends on your perspective. And then your brain attacks you and it goes, no, there's reality, and reality doesn't give a fuck about your perspective. But then you turn around and you go, well, perception is reality, and you kind of argue back and forth with your fucking self on it.
I think it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Like you have to keep reality in check. Like I don't think there's any problem. Like you got to feel your emotions. Like that's kind of the thing I keep like running into here is like I in my head I know I'm not being cringe about it, but in my head I feel cringe for thinking like, oh, like I feel like I don't know who I am anymore. But it's also like at the same time I have to remind myself like, no, I'm still the same guy. It's just this is going on, and like trying to not let my mind wander too far off.
What's the future look like for you? What do you want to do with your in life?
I might be getting fingers crossed, I'm going to be getting this cool new job in about a week at this, like when you go to Dave & Buster's and you have like the card you put the funds on and then you can swipe it or tap it at the games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to work for a company that like makes those, and I'd be able to like build the kiosks, and like I run support for like the arcades and bars that use them. Nice.
That's sick. Do you get to play games for free?
They have games in the break room. I was a little jealous. They had it just in storage, but they had South Park pinball.
Dude, I kind
of want that.
Dude, I had been searching far and wide to play the South Park pinball machine. I finally played it. I forget where. I think I played it in when I was in Denver one year. I played the South Park pinball machine. But yeah, it's kind of a bad pinball machine actually.
That's sad to hear.
Yeah. Wait, actually, I forget if maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was fine. I like pinball machines that have a lot of stuff on them.
I agree.
What like ones that have like 3D shit in them. I don't like. There's a lot of pinball machines that feel kind of lazy, where it's like the theming of it is just like it's all just like standard pinball, but the theming is like just like shit plastered on it, and it doesn't feel like it has a lot of like depth to it. I like 3D. I like stuff in the pinball machine, not just like theming at the bottom of just a standard ass pinball machine.
I agree. I like the Star Wars ones where they have like the ships like flying out towards the glass. Like that's
right.
Cool. I don't like when they just like slap like a Deadpool sticker on there and be like, it's Deadpool pinball.
Right. Exactly.
I got a weird question for you, Geck.
Go ahead.
I used to ask this question to people while playing Overwatch, and I've always wanted your take on it.
Sure.
Jimmy Neutron, right?
Yeah.
Boy genius or menace?
Why would he... Go ahead.
He has a nuclear-powered K9. Like, how is that okay?
In the sense that he brought sentience to something?
That, and like someone gave him nuclear material. Like he has some kind of like nuclear reactor or thing powering his dog that he brings to school. That he like built in his shed.
Okay, that is whether or not he's a menace. Let's get into this. It is interesting to think about how he sources his materials. Like, how did he get the nuclear or whatever the fuck to get? Because he can't just make all this stuff from scratch. He has to get certain materials that are difficult to get. And did he get those materials through highly unethical means? Is kind of what you're implying.
Well, like on Young Sheldon, he tried to do the same thing, and the FBI showed up at his house. And all he did was buy, like, smoke detectors, Plus, I don't know. In the movie, he got all the like he sent that toaster into space, and then all the parents got kidnapped. Like that's gotta like where does the blame fall there?
Yeah, yeah. I guess he does through science. It's the question. It's the question that plagues scientists often. Of we were so deeply focused on whether or not we could that we didn't stop to think if we should. And maybe a lot of Jimmy Neutron's inventions teeter on that. I'll say that. Here's what I'll say. And I'll say this not having recently watched the show. Is that I do generally believe that Jimmy Neutron has good intentions. That he wants to create things that serve humanity and his friends.
I could get behind that. He like accidentally causes the damage.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's a double-edged sword. I could see it like a lot of ways. But like I also remember that like I can't remember if it was Sheen or Carl, but like he turned one of them into like a combination of like the Thing and the Hulk. And like I feel like growing that size, like I feel like you just like don't turn into that and then forget about it.
Wait a minute, are you talking about oh dude, there's a gnarly episode. You know what? I'm gonna rewatch this today. There's a gnarly episode of Jimmy Neutron that I forgot about. Do you remember the one where he makes Sheen a super genius and then Sheen completely loses himself?
And like his head gets all swollen?
Yeah, and his head gets like super swollen and it becomes like a god.
Yeah, like he doesn't forget that. Like his memory's still there, you know? Like the day after he's gonna remember, oh, I was a super genius and lost all of it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna rewatch that. Maybe after watching that, I'll think he was a menace.
Watch the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour too.
Dude, the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour was my shit growing up. Yeah, I gotta rewatch that. You know what? I'm not into like movies at all. I don't really, and I've never been into like serialized dramas or like movies or whatever. Like I would gladly just sit down as an adult and rewatch the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour more than I would rather do that than watch like White Lotus. I don't know what that says about me, but
I'm the same way. I basically just watch King of the Hill.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have a long enough attention span for like to get into a fucking whole movie.
I respect that. It takes a lot for me to get invested in a movie. And like I went to film school for a year and then was like going every weekend to the movies and then just like again it all loops back to Sonic because like Sonic the Hedgehog came out, then COVID happened, and then I just not as big into the movies. But I also like I pirate everything, so it makes it hard.
I'm really happy having this conversation with you right now because I was thinking about this earlier in our conversation. I sometimes feel like I have forgotten how to have conversations that are like I really enjoy sometimes having very heady conversations about life and existential thought and the universe and meaning and self improvement and develop all this stuff. But I think sometimes I get so wrapped up in that world that I arrive at a place where I'm like, oh no, I think I've forgotten how to just have a fucking normal conversation. And then we started talking about pinball and Jimmy Neutron, and I was like, okay, I'm back. I'm back. I feel safe in the fact that I can have and express fully, presently in my entire body, refined opinions about a pinball machine. That kind of gave me some relief. I was like, all right, I can still live deeply in the matrix of can I think I tried to talk about this on the podcast at some point and maybe I just have dementia and I forgot, but this is a micro story that maybe you'll understand. I was at Target. This is gonna make if you're not insane, this is gonna make no sense. I was at Target the other day, and I was just having like insane like thoughts, like out of matrix thoughts. And then I forget what I was looking for there. I think I was I wanted to buy almonds or whatever. And so I went up to one of the guys working there, and I was like, "Hey man, do you know where the almonds are?" And he was like, "Oh, they're in aisle 3." And I was like, "Thanks, man, I appreciate it." And then in my head, I went, "Oh, I'm so back in my head." I went, "Dude, I just went up to a guy in a store and asked him where something was. I'm so deeply back into the Matrix right now. This is awesome." Like there, do you know what I mean? Is that that an insane thought to have? Like, oh, I'm like such a real person right now. I'm at a grocery store asking a guy where the almonds are and getting the almonds and buying them. I'm like a real person right now. I am deeply entrenched in the matrix of the human experience.
No, I completely, I DoorDash like just a butt ton, and like I definitely feel like I'm just like running like side quests over and over again.
Yeah.
And then like I do something like going to the grocery store, or like I delivered to some hotel the other day, and like the lady like talked to me and told me where to go, and I was like, that's rare. Normally they pretend I don't exist, and it's like it was nice to feel like that separation.
Yeah. You feel like you're here. What kind of nuts do you like?
So funny thing about that, I can't eat any nuts or I'll die.
Oh, you're allergic to peanuts?
All peanuts, tree nuts. On my birthday, like 2 years ago, one of my friends accidentally gave me mole, which is like some chocolate, like peanut butter meat thing, I think. But I took like one bite, and then I was like, oh, this has peanuts in it. And then I don't have an EpiPen because that's really expensive. So I just had a McChicken, and I brushed my teeth, and then I was all set.
Ooh, I love McChickens.
I agree. McChicken should not be $2. That's all I'm saying. It's criminal.
Are they they used to be $1, right?
There used to be $1, and they like vary by location. So like the one near my house is like $2.60. It makes me sick.
What? Yeah. What have you? Did you have the Shamrock Shake recently at all?
I had.
How was that?
It was all right. I had it while I was door dashing, and it was just kind of a nice little treat. It's been super windy here though, so I didn't get to enjoy it in its full like experience with the windows down.
What's your name again?
Jack.
Jack. How old are you, Jack?
I'm 25.
Cool. What else, Jack?
Older or younger than you expected?
I assumed you were like around my age.
Okay.
What else is there anything else that you want to talk about?
I think I mentioned all the big ones,
Okay.
The McChicken, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
What's your take on the Minecraft movie?
I have no take on the Minecraft. I have no take on the Minecraft movie. The only thing I know about Minecraft is that like kids like it, and there's like people wear a lot of T-shirts of it, and I was never a Minecraft guy. I'm very removed from the Minecraft universe. Do you have takes on the Minecraft movie?
I I like that action figure they have that looks like a joke from like Aqua Team Hunger Force. It's just like a Jack Black like action figure.
Oh,
But it just looks
yeah.
like he got like a middle-aged dude.
What's that episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force with the? I know the exact Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode that you are referring to. What's the name of that fucking guy in the episode? Like Meatwad gets a.
I think it's like Carl or something.
No, Meatwad. There's an episode of Aqua Teen where Meatwad gets a fucking action figure, but it's just like some guy. If you know, write us in the comments if you know the episode that we're talking about. I really enjoyed having this conversation with you, Jack.
No, this is a dream come true.
This is a fucking dream come true for me too, man. Goddamn. Shit. Fuck. Balls.
You said it.
All right, I guess we can end it. I guess this can be what it was. And if you have anything else you want to, you know, go. If you don't have anything else, I'm good to move on. But if you have anything else, we can do it.
I'll leave you off with one of my favorite work stories.
Yeah, go ahead.
I used to work at Best Buy in Kansas. And it was Super Bowl Sunday, and it was early in the day, and I was in the bathroom. We had been open for like 30 minutes, and I'm sitting there, and this dude comes in and cracks open a beer on Super Bowl Sunday in this Best Buy bathroom, and he finishes 3 beers before leaving, and I got to have my favorite radio call at Best Buy, which I just got to tell my manager. I was like, hey, some guy just drank like 3 beers in the bathroom. I don't know what you want me to do about it, but I just letting you know.
Have you ever done that? You ever drank 3 beers in the bathroom?
I don't think I'm powerful enough. Like I've definitely, like, when I first moved out, I definitely had like a shower beer. You know, I think that's why PBR exists. But you know, I don't think I've dived deeper than that.
Jack, it was a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for being on the phone with me and listening to me ranting yourself. This was good. I hope yeah, this was good. I hope you have a good rest of your life, Jack.
I hope you have a good rest of your life, Lyle.
I'm gonna try my fucking goddamn best.
I believe in you.
Have a good night, Jack.
Have a good night, Jack.
What a great phone call. I don't know. Sometimes, you know, this was good. I truly enjoyed chatting with that guy. He was a good hang. He was a good foil to whatever the hell this is. Thank you, Jack. You're an American hero today. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, what is your name?
Amanda. What's your name?
My name is
Becky.
Lyle. My
Lyle.
name is Lyle. Nice to meet you, Amanda. What's going on with you?
Hi, Lyle. Oh, you know, just hanging out. But you're being a little more vulnerable today. I'm digging it.
I feel like I'm always. It's interesting to hear you say that because I feel like I'm always doing that and then wondering if that's a fucking good idea.
No, you share nothing about yourself.
That's
You only talk about other people's problems.
That's not true. I compulsively rant about my brain a lot on here, I feel like.
Yeah, but like the second it's too much, we're done.
Well, yeah, sure. But
I want to know about dinner the other night.
That's good, though.
You were like, I was anxious, I was on my phone, blah, blah, blah. I'm not a stalker, but I have a weird memory. But,
okay, hold on. Okay, so, and I'll talk about, so, wait, first of all, when did I talk about that? Because I forget.
Live, like, this week, early in the week, but the second time that. Okay, so I guess the first night you did it, you weren't feeling it. I wasn't there for that. But then you picked up and you were happy you talked to Casey, the mathematician. And he had something that you were interested in, but then he had to go on his lunch break.
Oh yeah, the salmon fishing guy. That was the last episode. Okay, so I guess for context, I don't know if this is something I talked about on this.
I was live for that. It wasn't yeah.
So I don't know if this was I don't know if this was fucking on the live stream or on the podcast. But yes, okay, to give context to what you were saying, I remember talking about being at dinner with a couple friends, and I was just like, I was just on my phone very anxiously writing stuff in my notes app, checking Instagram, like looking at shit, and
good for you for going to dinner.
Good for me for going. What do you mean good for me for going to dinner?
No, seriously, like it sounds like you didn't fucking feel good. Sorry, but you went to dinner anyway, and you were like, man, I wasn't having a good time.
Well, hold on. So okay, let me explain this.
With your anxiety, at least.
Well, let me explain this. And everyone is wired differently. Everyone's wired way differently. I have, for me right now, and honestly, I don't know what the future holds, but for me right now, I'm the kind of person where, like, some people, when they get depressed or they get anxious, they withdraw and they're like, I need to be alone in my room, not doing anything. I'm the opposite, and I'm like, if I am alone in my room not doing anything, I get really depressed and anxious, and I am like, I have like a strong compulsion. I always want to be out of my house and around people as much as possible. I want to be out of my house and around other people as much as possible until my goal is to do that until I'm so exhausted that I am enjoying being out of my house. I mean, that's why I had so much fun touring and fucking doing all this shit.
That's really good.
Right? And so the anxiety, me being on my phone at dinner, the reason I was so anxious and on my phone at dinner is because I guess like I was just being vulnerable, talking about existential crises, all that stuff that I fucking talk about on here, is I'm like, my brain works in such a way where I'm like, okay, I need to solve this problem, and if I'm out with my friend or I'm around people, and I feel like I am not taking action on any of my problems in some way, shape, or form, I get anxious, and I'm like on my phone in my notes app. I'm kind of in a period of my life where I'm like, I've identified certain things that I'm would like to see change in my life, and so I'm very anxiously scribbling down ideas and things and whatnot so that I can solve these problems. This is how I've operated, I think, for my whole life. I think it's so
good, guys.
I think it's how
good.
I think it's how I'll probably operate for the rest of my life. Because when I have a problem, it just fucking fucks with my head until I can figure out how to fucking solve it. And so I just get anxious, and I'm not. And it's weird because I'm not present. But here's the thing, and you say it's really good, and I appreciate that, and I actually agree with you, and I do think...
For now, it is.
I do think it's good for now. But also, let me tell you something. It fucks me in some ways, because sometimes when you're on your phone, and it's about balance. I think balance is the issue. And this, I really want you to know, I really want people listening to this podcast to know, I am not saying, and I never say any of these fucking things in like a coaching, I know the answer way. At the end, this fucking sometimes
We know
this fucking.
that.
Yeah, I know you know that, but sometimes I just want to reiterate that this podcast is like, this is me doing therapy publicly for myself, talking these things out. So this is just all for me, is like, the anxiety. Oh, okay, here's what I was going to say. There's a weird balance to it, right? Where it's like, okay, sure, let me dedicate a part of my day and a part of my life and a part of my time to endlessly bang my head against the wall, being like, I have this fucking problem and I want to solve it, and I'm not going to stop banging my fucking head against the wall until I solve it, and that's great.
It's like Sudoku.
It's like life. It's like life Sudoku. But I think I've realized that I'm like, okay, do that for some period of the day, but then afterwards, just be at dinner with your friend. I just
don't want you to stop coming on the podcast, and like, I want you to be okay first and foremost, but like I personally see, like, I'm listening and it's like, oh man, like, it's wearing and he doesn't want to do this anymore and I'm scared.
You know what the thing
sometimes
is? Well,
but then you come out with a really good like a really thing that like fills your cup, and I'm like, oh, it's fine.
You know, well, that's
but,
what I mean. That's what sucks is well, it's not what's, you know what, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it sucks. It just is what is. And now we're getting so meta, and I don't know. I actually don't even care because I'm enjoying it. Is that it just depends on the fucking day, man. Like, honestly, like today and this podcast and talking to the guy I just talked to, and even talking to you right now and whatever, I'm really enjoying this. I really feel present. I really feel good. And I'm like, oh, this is a great thing. But then sometimes I just show up and I'm like, I can't.
Let me tell you something, Gek. It's not you.
I think it is me.
No. But no, it's not.
Well, okay. I'm going to let you give your perspective, and then I'll give mine. But go ahead.
It's just like, you're listening to these people call and talk to, some of them varying on IQ levels, and it's like, their problems are not something that like you can even relate to sometimes, and if you do, you do a good job of like telling them, but like, you're walking such a fine line of like your podcast and like actually caring about these people, and like, that's gonna drain anybody. Like,
sure,
it's not,
sure. And you know
that's what I mean
is I do agree with you on that. I will say that but
I don't think it's bad for you. I think I like that you call when like some days you're like, nope, thank you. I like that. That's good. That's a good boundary.
Well,
like,
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that. Thank you for the support. That's really that's very kind of you to say.
I'm not kind. I'm not.
I'm not making a judgment as to whether or not let me tell you this. I am not making a judgment on what kind of person you are. Only you can tell me what kind of person you are, but I can absolutely objectively tell you but it is an objective fact that I felt kindness from you just now in this exact moment. But I can't state any other objective facts about your life as a whole, but it is an objective fact that I believe that you were kind in this very moment.
I want to ask you something.
Go ahead.
How do you do it? Like, I just told you I'm not kind, but I feel like intellectually, like, I get sometimes what you get, and I get why you call it quits, and I get why you don't want to talk to certain people, but like, I can't like do what you do with like, yeah, no thanks. Like, those boundaries are so hard for me to like say.
Well,
it's not just being a woman either. Maybe it is,
Well,
But
I mean, okay. Well, I'll tell you a couple things. Is that one? I actually really, I sincerely really struggle with that because I want, like I struggle with that because I want, when I have an interaction with folks or whatever, I want to be perfect.
you are nice. You're you're like, you draw the line without being like mean.
Well, I want to do that, but I
don't.
But you can't. If you put pressure on yourself to do that, if you put pressure on yourself to be perfect, you're just gonna want it. You're gonna fucking kill yourself if you do that. Like if you put pressure on, if you put so much pressure,
I would love nothing more.
If you put so much pressure on yourself to fucking be perfect, you'll fucking kill yourself. So I at a certain point, and I struggle with doing this, but I think I at a certain point have to just be like, and again, I don't know how good about, I'm kind of intellectualizing it, but at a certain point you just have to go like, accept.
I just want to know how you take another phone call.
The answer is that I drank. The answer is that I drank a Celsius before this, which makes me feel like a normal. Yeah. Caffeine makes me feel like a normal person.
I don't think Celsius is that bad, and I'm an ICU nurse. But
how do you do? How do you do fucking that? I mean, goddamn, that's an intense job.
I don't have to. They don't talk. They're intubated. They have a breathing tube. They're dead, and I'm keeping them alive.
I mean, goddamn, that's I mean, that you're.
I don't like it when they talk.
Why not?
I don't, because then it's like, oh man, your life sucks, you know. But mine is worse. So like. Hold on, same, equivalent.
Wait, you don't like when they talk because you don't like when they talk because when they talk it's depressing.
Mhm. Or like their problems I can't help them with, or legally I'm not allowed to, or yeah.
There's
you're right. Everyone is going through it, man.
There's an episode of the show Louie that I really love, where
what's that?
It's Louis C.K.'s TV show.
Okay,
from, like,
I saw
10 years
him
ago.
live like after the scandal.
Yeah.
3 years ago, Louis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you've seen him before.
I'm in Syracuse, unfortunately. I know how you feel about it, but.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean you know how I feel? Wait, hold on. How do I feel about Syracuse? I'm going to get back to this, but how do I feel about Syracuse?
Funny Bone is not the only comedy club.
Hold on. It
might be.
Hold on. I just want to set the record straight.
What about the casino?
I just want to set hold on. Can I set the record straight? I had a fucking sick time at the comedy club in Syracuse.
Yeah, but like you hung out in a parking lot. I told you my memory is weird. I swear I'm not stalking.
Wait. I hung out. No, you're 100% right. I did talk about hanging out in the parking lot.
There's so much more.
I hung out in the parking lot of a mall in Syracuse, and I had a sick time.
Yeah, but like everyone besides you, just Syracuse people defend themselves, so it's like podcasters are scared to talk shit. But I know they don't like it here. It sucks.
I will tell you objectively, going to Syracuse for a day to do my Gecko show and then hanging out in the parking lot afterwards was a lot of fun.
Was all right?
No, it was great. No, it was more than all right. It was a great time. But would I want to live in Syracuse? I guess not particularly. But hold on. Okay, so
I don't live in Syracuse. I live 15 miles away. But I can't leave. You know? I can't. Anyway.
On the subject
of
okay, so there's an episode of Louie. It's called what's it fucking called? It's called Eddie. And in it, I don't know if you ever watched the show, but in it, this
Never.
guy, do you know the comedian Doug Stanhope?
Mm-mm. It may be by face, but I'm so bad with names. Like, so bad.
But it's funny because so there's an episode of Louie that's kind of about the subject that we're talking about. And it's a little, I don't know what to make of it, but it's I don't know what to make of it, but it's a fascinating episode. So,
I'm going to watch it.
You should watch it and tell me. I'm curious what you will think. So in it, Louis, he like does a spot at the Comedy Cellar in New York, and he runs into an old friend, Eddie, played by Doug Stanhope, and his old friend is like this comedian that he used to run with back in the day, and in like the open mic scene. And Louis hadn't seen him in like.
It's not a skit show. It's like a series.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I think. But so in it,
as opposed, anyway.
it's not serialized, if that's what you're asking.
Like, I'm comparing it to my man's I Think You Should Leave.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's not serialized. It's not like a serialized drama.
Okay.
So in it, Louis is like, he runs into this comedian who he hadn't seen in a while, and they hang out and they pal around, and eventually, they hang out, they pal around, and like Doug Stanhope's character like kind of gets into some trouble. Eddie, he gets drunk, and they're hanging out, they're talking about old times, and then eventually, Doug Stanhope's character says to Louis, he's like, he says to him, I'm quitting, I'm done, and Louis is like, wait, like you're quitting comedy? You're not going to do comedy anymore? And he goes, I'm not quitting comedy, dude. I'm quitting life.
Like, yeah.
And he goes, I'm going to go fucking upstate. I have one last show. I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to take a bunch of painkillers and I'm going to kill myself. And then Louis goes like, what do you mean you can't kill yourself? Like, he's trying to like talk him out of it. And then Doug Stanhope, he just laughs. And he's like, he just laughs and he goes, look, I get you're trying to do a whole big speech right now, and I get you're excited that you're doing this whole big speech, but, look, I'm not asking you to save me. I just wanted to say goodbye to somebody. And it's really dark episode.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. It's really dark, but then, Louis says to him, he's like, dude, you can't put this shit on me. And he goes on this rant. And this is kind of what I guess this is how it connects back to what we were just talking about. Is he goes like, he has this line where he goes, I worked hard to figure out what my reasons to live are, and I can't just hand them over.
Eddie or Louis?
Louis says to Eddie, he goes, I worked really hard. Okay. Eddie says to Louis, he goes, give me one reason why I should keep living. Eddie goes, give me one reason why I should keep living. And then Louis says, dude, you can't do that. I'm not going to, he goes on this rant and he goes, I'm not going to play that game with you. I worked hard to figure out what my reasons to live are, and I can't just figure them out to you. And if you want to figure out your reasons to live, fucking go to bed. He goes, have a drink of water, go to bed, and then wake up in the morning and try again just like everyone else. And it was fascinating. I love that scene. I love that whole rant, and I kind of love it from both sides, because I'm thinking about it from Doug Stanhope's character, where like, because I've like been there in like a deep depression of like. I've been there in a deep depression, and I've been there wanting to be saved and realizing no one's gonna save me. And I just, the way that Louis is like, fucking drink the whole thing of like, dude, drink a glass of water, go to bed, and wake up and figure it out like everyone else. But I'm not giving you I worked hard on my reasons to live. I'm not giving them to you. I kind of felt that there's like, weirdly, even though it's a depressing scene, there's something, I guess, weirdly optimistic about it. About just like, look, man, no one's coming to save you, but like, dude, we're all trying to find our reasons to live. Don't fucking kill yourself. Go to bed. Take a drink of water. Go to bed and try again tomorrow morning.
You're right.
And then take a drink of water and try again tomorrow morning. And just don't fucking kill yourself. Don't fucking give up. Take a drink of water. Go to bed and just try again in the morning like everyone else. And I actually that felt really powerful. Hear it like I'm imagining being in that situation, and I felt that way before, wanting to be saved, and you can't be saved. And then I also have had situations where I felt like I was in Louis' position, where I was like, shit.
You're always in his position.
Where I felt like I was in that position where I'm like, fuck, I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm working really hard on my reasons to live. I'm trying to figure out what mine are. And I want to help you, but I can't just give them to you.
Is
you know,
way better than take a sip of water and go to bed.
But that,
I think that's what human needs, but they can't. Your advice is better.
But hold on. This has nothing to just. What's your name again?
I get it. Amanda. I get
Amanda?
the big picture.
Hold on, Amanda. First of all, Amanda, thank you again for sitting on the phone while I go. Thank you again for sitting on the phone while I go on this rant and examine this scene. I just love this fucking scene because I feel I've felt like I've been on both sides of this scene, and they're kind of inspired because it comes back to like the boundaries in a way of being like I can't, and I'm trying to I'm trying to be. This is an optimistic thing. Okay, this is a positive thing.
It is being a
again because there's the one side of it where you want to help someone, but you're like, I've worked hard on my reasons to live, and I can't just give them to you, and I know what that side feels like. And then there's the other side where you feel deeply fucking alone, and you deeply feel that nobody can help you, and I felt that way before. And then there is something about that scene that spoke to me in feeling that way, where I was like, fuck, man, just drink a glass of water, go to bed, wake up in the morning. Don't kill yourself.
Literally.
Drink a glass of water, wake up in the morning, and try again like everyone else. And that kind of is the answer. And so again, I love the scene because I felt it kind of deeply from both sides of it. But anyway, that you know kind of spoke to me in a sense. And I feel like it ties back to the kind of meta of what we're talking about.
It does.
Anyway.
It does.
Anyway, thanks for letting me rant about that.
Yeah. One more question.
Go ahead.
You don't talk about being Jewish that much.
I talk about. Well, you say I don't talk about being vulnerable. I don't talk about being Jewish. What do you mean I don't talk about being? I talk about being Jewish.
How do you talk about I don't know. Anyway, do you want a Jewish wife?
Like not actively.
You need a Jewish wife?
No,
I know. Does your mom need a Jewish wife?
My mom would like a Jewish wife. I am indifferent to a Jewish wife.
Yeah, you need a Jewish wife.
Are you Jewish?
I am, but yeah, I'm. You don't want me. I'm hot, but you don't want me.
That's not what I was at. That's not what I was getting at.
Mm-hmm. But you do need a Jewish wife, but you're not like. I just want to say one more thing. You're not the typical like. You're not the typical. I don't even want to say it.
Are you going? Are you? Hold on. Here's the thing. Hold on. Let me say this. Because you're Jewish, I'm not offended at you saying, if you want to say I am not the typical Jewish guy, if that's what you want to say.
You're not. And I was going to say boy. I know you're 26, or 27, whatever. I don't know when your birthday is, but yeah. You're not. You're way better.
Well,
Justice Harry, way better.
I have multiple things to say to this. Okay, yes, I went to BBYO and I grew up around. I know what you mean by.
You do.
I also, by the way, I embody a lot of typical Jewish stereotypes of like neuroticism and like a lot of I feel very I mean I occasionally will find myself at synagogue once in a blue moon, but I feel like I feel very like culturally Jewish, like I embody a lot of, again, the Jewish but well, what about you? Are you looking for a Jewish husband?
God, no. I'm Jewish, but I'm almost like more agnostic. I've been on birthright, that kind of thing. Like,
sure.
I believe in tradition and preserving. I'm not a Zionist, but I see what the moms see, you know, and why. But I mean, they changed our last name when we came over, so it's like it was scarcely part of our identities. It's just like here and there. I still have a Christmas tree. I didn't go to a day school or anything like that. But yeah, I've just been interested because you're like not as loud about it as the people I went to high school with, and but it's still important to you, and that's why I asked.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But you do, like, you don't say God bless, but you're like, I don't not believe in God.
Judaism to me is not about God or
the Messiah,
or the Messiah. No, it's not about Judaism. To me is about being 13 years old at a Jewish sleepaway camp.
Yeah.
And you and your friends are all standing in a circle, rubbing Gold Bond on your balls.
Yes.
That's what Judaism is. For Judaism's like a culture. Judaism is a culture. Like when I meet another person who's Jewish, I'm like, okay, we had similar traditions
morals.
Growing up and similar cultures. More than it is about like, you know, like, oh, I believe in something.
Yeah. No, I get that. I totally get that. And I have friends who are like in and out of believing of something, like, and like their families are like full damn Jewish, you know. No Christmas tree, nothing. But Lyle, you gotta talk to other people. My kids are about to make you lose your shit because I've been like pushing their foreheads away from me each time. They know who you are. They know I call you sometimes.
How old are your kids?
They see, but they don't hear. 5 and 8.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're so good.
Wait, now I'm curious about. Go ahead.
Huh?
I was curious about your life. I feel like I just talked about myself for a while.
Oh God, Lyle, my life, you don't even want to know. It's
All
like
right.
Not cute, not fun. There's no solution, and you would hate it. But so would everyone. I love you so much. Please don't leave us.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else I want to say to support Gecko? Go on Twitch. Buy the subscription. We need him. You don't even know. I love only Gek. I love none of you. And yeah, I'm kitten pawing in the chat. That annoying girl.
Amanda?
Yep.
Amanda,
and I also love Rhode Island.
Rhode Island?
So maybe, do you live in Rhode Island, or were you born in Rhode Island?
No, I have no association with Rhode Island.
What about, where were you raised, Gek?
Maryland.
I know, like, where you went to, okay, Maryland, sorry, I get, like, Rehoboth and Maryland, like, sometimes confused geographically, but, if you go, I want to go to the ocean this summer in Delaware or Maryland, whatever, I don't care. I want to see you there or in Syracuse again. So And I didn't know the last time you were in Syracuse, and I was super bummed and jaded.
I'll be back. I am planning to tour again. If people are willing, if people are willing to come out and see me again in 2026, I will be there.
They will. They will.
Good. I hope so. I don't know. Every single day of this thing, I'm like, every single day of this thing, I'm like, I mean, even the fact that you've been listening, I think you said you were listening since the COVID days. So every single day of this thing, I'm like,
oh yeah.
If people are still on board, I'm still here. So anyway, thank you for your kindness, Amanda.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. You helped me out today by again being a foil for me to rant and whatnot. So thank you very much. And
thank you. And I'm so excited if you ever talk to Casey again, that guy who is in like his whatever for the fuck, like getting in from Denali or Anchorage. He was fishing. He just seemed like a dud, and then he was like brilliant. He was like a physics thing, whatever. Anyway, keep on going, man. Go out to dinner with your friends.
Okay. Good.
I'll go out to dinner with mine.
Yeah, please do that. Go out to dinner with your friends. Live your life. God damn it, Amanda. Gonna live.
Lyle.
Stay alive.
I'll see ya.
Okay, I'll see you,
Amanda. I will. Promise.
I'll see you, Amanda. Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. That was Amanda. This has been a good episode of people sitting on the phone with me while I rant, which is a dream. I think that's I feel like the callers are like they're co-hosts of the podcast. It's fun. I will pray. I'll pray for everyone. I will pray for everyone. I will pray for everyone. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
Joe.
Joe. How's it going, Joe? What's the new in your life? Well, have we talked before?
No, I've been listening to you through COVID, so really excited.
Oh, kick ass. It's always so cool to me. I feel like I lose track a lot of the times of like how cool this is, that this has been going for almost 5 years now, and people have been listening since COVID, which has been 5 years now. So I'm happy. I'm happy you're still here. I'm happy that today, March 22nd, 2025, you're here and we're talking. I think it's cool. So, what's up, dude? How can I get you today? What's going on in your life, Joe?
Oh man. So I have two things I could talk about. I can either talk about three, I guess: work, personal, or my dogs.
Which one do you feel the most compelled to talk about right now?
Let's do work.
Sure. What's going on with work?
Oh man. So I have been with this large company for about a decade now. So first job right out of high school, super fun. Started off out west, got the opportunity to like run a store, meet some people, and then got transitioned to kind of like the bigger picture. So I audited, I trained, and now I get to work out of like the headquarters, man. So I get to see the people that make all the impacts, and being from just working in the store to now making changes and being able to help people has been wild, man. And just being a dumb little 17-year-old that was like a pot smoker, didn't think I was going to do anything. This was my kind of just bullshit job while I went through high school and college. And now like, it's real. It's my career. And it just blows my mind sometimes how, even though it's something small, you could just like make it huge. And it's just the person that makes the difference, I guess. And all the people I've got to meet, oh my God, I've gotten to be in and see like 30 states out of the 50, including like Alaska, Hawaii, Maine, all the different places, and just seeing the people and showing them that it doesn't just stop at the like lower level, but you can do so much is just crazy, man.
That's awesome. That's fucking great. What can I ask what this company is?
You can, but I can't tell you just in case. But it's a really well-known brand. They're huge all over the world.
Cool. And okay, so you've been with them for a day. When did you start? You started with them when you were 17?
Yeah, 2015.
Wow. That's awesome. That's great. Interesting. Okay, so you're just reporting no problems, nothing bad. You're just reporting something good. I like that. That's good. What's going on with Okay, do you tell if you have more good things to report? I'm down to hear it. What's going on personal?
No, personal wise, yeah. Let's see. This is my first time being single for like 2 years. It's been awesome to not just like develop my career, but like, man, everything's finally going good. Like for a year was sketchy there, but everything's good, man. And I was able to listen to your stream the other day and really just kind of like connect. And when you were talking about how you called your stepmom and you were just trying to reach out, but you couldn't vocalize those words, man, I have been there, and antidepressants work. And it's just being able to get off of them and now like see the other side. And it's okay, man. It's going to be good.
You know, yeah, so I guess to expand on that, yeah, I you know, I don't shut up about it on the podcast, but like, yeah, this kind of like existential whatever that I was going through, you know, it's hard. I know a lot of people struggle with that stuff, and it's great to hear. I love hearing. I am always searching for stories of hope, whether it's on Reddit or just whatever. And so it's cool to hear one from you. So you felt like you were in a bit of a tumultuous time for like a year. What was tumultuous about it?
So I had been with somebody. I had known them for about 10 years. We finally started dating. It was just the worst toxic relationship. We moved across the country, did all this crazy stuff together, and we finally broke up, and I was able to just take a step back. And obviously I was mad for a long time, but just trying to see how I affected everything and how at the end of the day, it's like me putting myself in the shit. So trying to break that and having just that year of being alone with my dogs has been kind of life-changing. It's been nice. It's quiet.
Do you seek to eventually be in a relationship again?
If it happens, it happens. If not, you know, I think I'm finally okay being alone, and it's different. It's cool, but yeah. I think as long as I have my dogs and I can volunteer, you know, everything's pretty good over here.
What do you, well, I guess a couple questions. What is it that made you finally okay with being alone?
Just stopping and acknowledging that, yes, other people are factors, but it's me. If you're not okay with being by yourself, well, how are you going to be good helping and lifting somebody else up in a relationship, whether it's work, individual, or even in like an actual partnership relationship? Sure.
What do you do to volunteer?
Oh, I volunteer in an animal shelter.
Great.
Yeah.
What's up with the dogs?
One of them, my youngest one, she just got in like mid-January, got diagnosed with epilepsy. She's 3, so kind of shitty, but we got it managed. She's doing good, and she's happier than ever, man.
That's awesome. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Great. So you're doing good. So it's interesting. I think I was I weighing back and forth about talking about this stuff because it feels like a loop sometimes. Yeah. But I'm interested in it. So you were doing antidepressants for a while.
Yep. How long? Yep.
How long were you doing?
Oh, no, fluoxetine. Oh, I did them for about 3 years.
Interesting. And so I'm curious about your perspective because I'm trying antidepressants now, and I talk about it on the fucking show all the time. Is like this thing of like, okay, how much of my dissatisfaction of life or whatever is like a chemical thing versus like external the events of your life, like what's going on in your brain versus what's just going on in your fucking life. And I have this hesitancy of like, well, no, it's about what's going on in life, less than about the antidepressants. But then you know, things happen in life, and you're like, well, why am I not here with this? And then I'm like, well, maybe it is chemicals in your brain. And then you go on the internet, and they're like, oh, there's neurotransmitters that get fucked up and whatnot. So anyway, I'm just ranting. But what were those 3 years like for you?
Yeah, so before I got on them, it was very much like a hole that you fall into that you can't really dig yourself out of.
Mm-hmm.
And my big thing was just overthinking negative thoughts.
Yeah.
So on the antidepressants, it was kind of like you just, like they filled in those bumps in the road. So that was really nice. But then I got very scared of the, oh my God, am I going to have to be on this for the rest of my life just to be a person?
Right.
So I integrated that with kind of not only talk therapy, but I also, for about a year, after going to therapy and doctors, did ketamine therapy. So that was honestly, like, it was in a very, like, pharmaceutical environment. It was very, like, done with doctors, but just that kind of experience was very mind-changing. And again, I didn't have to do that long-term. I did that for about 6 months to a year. But just seeing the different points of view. I thought I was the biggest thing and all of my problems were insane and huge, but it means nothing. As long as you kind of like take a step back and realize everybody's going through shit, I think that's what really changed it for me. So I don't know if that helps at all, but yeah, man, ketamine is crazy and amazing when done correctly.
Okay, so yeah, I was I have a couple friends who've done ketamine therapy. There's this fucking a comedian that I was listening to on a podcast that was talking about ketamine therapy, and I was kind of interested in it because I had a little period of time where I was like, oh no, I don't know how to get out of this, and I was like, okay, maybe ketamine therapy is the answer. And then, you know, I have crazy ADHD, so I'm like, maybe this is the answer, maybe this is the answer, maybe this is the answer, maybe this is the answer. So what was ketamine like for you?
So my big kind of like thing that I worked on was I identified myself a lot with my career. So just identifying not only what the issue is, but how to work through that. So yeah, my career is great, but what can I do outside of it to be a fucking person and to care about myself and just make sure I'm okay?
Yeah.
So that was huge. And just like my personal problems, yes, they're impact my mood. Yes, they impact me and they make me feel shitty, but how is that affecting the people around me and how I'm like selling myself, I guess, or portraying myself? Sure. And it's just, you don't have to be just strong for yourself. You got to be strong for people around you. And it's just, that.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It's weird. Yeah, it is true. Like when you're fucking depressed, you have, it's hard to, you can't help anyone. You can't fucking be anything or do anything.
And then that leads you to lose people, and then you're even more depressed, and it's just it's an endless cycle.
Yeah, and it's hard because you have to kind of go on the journey alone a little bit, you know?
Yeah, which is shitty and different, but yeah, it's been good. I live like 1,000 miles away from my closest family, and if I had not gone through all the shit that I went through, I probably would not be here. So yeah, man, ketamine's crazy.
All right, cool. Maybe I'll give it a shot. What's your name again?
Joe.
Well, thanks for sharing all this stuff, Joe. I'm happy to hear that you're doing better. You know, a lot of we live in a crazy world. We live in a crazy crazy world. So thanks for sharing a little story of hope. It's you know, it's good. It's good. Is there anything else, Joe, that you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
Nope. God bless you, and just thank you for all you do, Lyle. Truly,
I am trying my best. Thank you for listening, dude. I'll see you around the universe, Joe.
Yeah. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye. That was cool. It's interesting. I feel I'm just gonna talk openly, just because how I think it's just my fucking whatever is like. There's a weird thing about, you know, the self, the existentially putting your brain out on the table universe is weird because I think my gut tells me this is like a weird loop of talking about your problems or whatever that become stories that become ingrained in who you are, and I'm trying not to do that. But this is like this is a positive story. This is like, so it actually is in a way breaking the loop to get to talk to this person who's like, you know, sometimes optimism is like all you have, like, and it's weirdly the I think for me at least is the when you're drowning, it's like the thing you can hold on to. And so when you hear a story of a person who's like, yeah, I was on antidepressants and I was drowning for a while, and now I can happily report that I'm doing okay, you're like, okay, great, maybe there's hope for me, and you hold on to the optimism, and you don't know how long it'll take, but you're like, all right, I can, as long as I maintain this optimism, there is some form of hope. So shout out to that lady for giving some form of hope.